Apple goes on the defensive versus Samsung. This is what's news on WSJ Live. I'm Joanne Poe. In a rare move, Apple's marketing chief Phil Schiller is playing down competition from Samsung's new smartphone, which will be announced later today. In an interview, Mr. Schiller also says he believes products that run Google's Android software, such as Samsung's phone, are inferior to Apple's iPhone from both a hardware and user experience. And the number of U.S. workers filing new applications for unemployment benefits fell again last week. It's the latest sign of a slowly improving labor market. Separately, producer prices, which measures wholesale inflation, edging higher by 0.7% in February, driven by a big rise in gasoline prices. And one of the stocks to watch today is E-Trade Financial. The online brokerage company says that its largest shareholder, Citadel Equity Fund, is selling its entire stake in the company. Citadel, which owns a 9.6% interest in E-Trade, had previously rescued E-Trade with 2 capital injections. And in health news, breast cancer radiation raises heart risk. A new European study shows that women who had radiation therapy for breast cancer are at increased risk of having a heart attack or other major coronary event. Researchers finding that the risk started climbing 5 years after treatment and continued for at least 2 decades. We'll keep you posted on all the latest news developments throughout the day on What's News on WSJ Live.